Today's topic of discussion is how to diagnose and manage recurrent dislocation of shoulder. Hi everyone, I am Dr. Lalit Bafna. I am an arthroscopy and joint replacement surgeon currently working in SCI International Hospital GK1. If patient experiences a frequent episodes of give way or the shoulder going out of the socket, then we called it as a recurrent dislocation of the shoulder. So what are the important points one should note in the history? First thing you should notice how these injuries occur for the first time. So whether it is a post-traumatic or non-traumatic, whether there is any significant trauma has happened or not happened. What was patient did that time post-injury? Whether he has visited to any orthopedician or he has reduced that shoulder joint by himself. How many episodes patient has experienced post first trauma. So number of episodes becomes very important for the planning of the case. Whether there is any history of nighttime dislocations or not. When was the last episodes of shoulder dislocation has happened? And how many times the shoulder was reduced by doctor himself or the patient himself. These are the most important point one should note during the history of the patient. One should note that is there any dislocation of any other joint in the body. On examination, patient should see for any signs of ligament laxity. We called it as a Beighton score. We should calculate the Beighton score. Second thing, he should examine apprehension test in the shoulder whether the doctor kind of try to dislocate the shoulder and patient should feel that apprehension that shoulder is going out. Along with that, he can also see a sulcus sign and there are many other examination tests. He should also assess a range of movement and rotator cuff power while examining the shoulder joint. In investigation, doctor should get a baseline X-ray where we should look for any Hill-Sachs defect or any bony lesion or any bony fracture. The second important investigation comes is a MRI of the shoulder. MRI shoulder, we should look for the Bankart lesion, location of the labrum as compared to the glenoid bone loss. We should look for the rotator cuff and Hill-Sachs defect. We should also get the CT of both the shoulder where the involved shoulder is compared with the non-involved shoulder. In that examination, by using a radiological software, we should calculate a glenoid tract, glenoid bone loss, Hill-Sachs defect and Hill-Sachs index. Following which a defect should be calculated into whether the defect is on track or off track. For patient point of view and based on the above parameters, surgeon will come down to a surgical procedure which we can offer to the patient. Thank you.